have got one heck of a battle away. 10 minutes of the A-Class final is underway now. Philpott leads the field away. Has Davidson managed to draw any kind of an overlap? No, he tucks in behind. Philpott leads down into the first corner. Has clear track ahead of him. That is exactly what he needed. It's as you were for the top 5. Mark West trying to get up around the outside there. Spanners ready, but to no avail. Stephen Williams having to defend that third place from Mark Mason there, but Mason couldn't do anything with it, although they are absolutely nose to tail as they come through the S's. And meanwhile, Philpott stretching his advantage, already heading down the sign sweep.
Williams being pushed down the hill there. It was so close, and he's actually got very close to Davidson in the braking zone. That battle for second is going to be very hot very shortly.
Certainly is. They're going to head up towards the hill. Once again, Philpott leads Davison, and he's got pressure from Williams behind him. And it's just an absolute train of cars. They're all equidistant, squabbling over this second place, and hopefully Philpott can use that to try and clear this pack. And Mason was challenging Stephen Williams there on the opening lap of the race, but he's actually more finding himself under pressure from Spanners for 4th place as they exit hairpin 2. Spanners trying to make a move here on the number 14 kart of Mark Mason that we've seen involved in plenty of scraps today, as indeed we have for Spanners, and he is looking right at the back of Mark Mason now.
Williams getting himself a good position to get dragged down the start finish straight to try and take second place. He is tucked right up behind him in the slipstream. Davison looks back.
Oh wow! Look at this now for second place. So Davison had a gap, but it's been absolutely eaten into by Stephen Williams, and nose to tail once again through the first corner. Williams finds the inside. Is he going to take second place here on the inside? Davison fights him out a long way round. He's going to have the line into hairpin 2 as well, and he reclaims that second place spot. So Williams challenged for second place, but to no avail. He's got to be careful because Mark Mason is going to pounce given half an opportunity.
This is just the battle that Philpott wanted. Williams doesn't make a move there. He's not close enough. He's not silly enough to make a lunge down into that corner. Although into the final corner he sticks his nose in. He's pushed him out wide, and Williams does take second place. And Mason is also right in this battle too. Yeah,
so Davison's lost one place. He could lose another. Track limits warning going out to our race leader, Brad Philpott, but very close there for second place. Kart's getting absolutely squeezed out on the entry of the first corner. So Williams comes out ahead, and Davison has lost the spot there to Mark Mason as well. Spanners trying to get into the mix as well, but it's Mark Mason who's made his way into third place in that white helmet, the number 14 kart. He's into the podium places, dispatched Nicholas Davison with that tribute Daniel Ricciardo helmet. You can tell how much focus and attention is on this A-Class final just by the number of people who've turned up on the balcony to watch it.
Absolutely, this is top draw stuff here. We've got Mason making moves here. He's putting real pressure on. And we've got Davidson as well. Spanners dropped back a little bit there, must have made a little bit of a mistake.
Yeah, Stephen Williams pulled out a little bit of a gap here for second place. Still 6.5 minutes remaining on the clock, and he has got about half a second over Mark Mason there in the battle for second place. And Mark Mason's got to look over his shoulder for Nicholas Davison, because Davison wants that podium place back. Coming through hairpin 2 now, Davison with the Daniel Ricciardo tribute helmet. He lost that place to Mark Mason a lap ago. He wants it back, but he's got to be careful. Spanners is following him very, very closely. Then there is a bit of a gap forming to Mark West and Kyle Power behind them.
You're absolutely right, Chris. Spanners is closing in, and we've seen him get his elbows out this evening. So you don't want to give him any room at all. Just a mention for Alex Van Gien in the corporate chauffeurs, who has made good progress through the field after progressing from the B final. He's now on the verge of the top 10.
Davison fancies a run here at third place, weaving across the track, trying to find the inside line for the first corner, but there is no way Mark Mason is giving it to him. He defends into hairpin 1, and that forces Davison. They make contact though, as Davison got an excellent run out of the corner, drew alongside. He's going to try and go the long way round of hairpin 2, but he can't do anything with it. So the status quo has been maintained, and Spanners still waiting for an opportunity to pounce.
Starting to stern into the corner there, Spanners making a little show of his nose, but nothing of it. In fact, that would have cost him a bit of time. He's got to be patient. There are 5 minutes left in this final. Bradley Philpott comes at the start, finish straight. Imperious in front of Stephen Williams, who's pulled a good gap.
Yes, Stephen Williams doing an excellent job there in second place, absolutely drawing clear of this battle for the podium now. Black flag's gone out to Colin Ward, I believe that is. I think he's on the back of the grid, so no need to worry about that. So leaders coming through, hairpin one now. Williams well clear of this battle for third place. Power trying to get up on the inside there. Pushes out Mark Weston, the number 7. That was a little bit rude, but all's fair in love and war. So in that battle for third place we were talking about is sort of stretched out a little bit actually. Mark Mason just starting to consolidate that position and build ever so slightly a gap back to Nicholas Davison.
I think Mark West was just exploring all parts of Buckmore Park here, this fabulous circuit. He just wanted to see every single inch of that tunnel.
I mean, why wouldn't you? It's such a fantastic circuit. So Davison trying to have a go once again. Closing. Is it going to be enough to try and challenge for that last spot on the podium? We have just under 4 minutes remaining in this A-class final. First and second look pretty well locked in. Brad Philpott is nearly 3 seconds clear now of Stephen Williams in second place. Stephen Williams in turn about 1.5 seconds clear of Mark Mason in third. All eyes are on that battle for third place as Nicholas Davison tries to close in. Spanners ready, not quite making the inroads I would have expected to get into the podium placings. And Kyle Power starting to close him down as well there in 6th place.
Yes, indeed, that is going to be a panelist battle towards the end. Kyle Power is definitely gaining on Spanners. He doesn't seem to have the grip to keep up with the top 3.
Doesn't seem to be the case as Mark Mason down into hairpin 1 he goes. Still not even feeling the need to go defensive. He's got this Davison covered off at the moment. They head up towards the S's once again. Davison still trying to find a way through. Power and Spanners getting very, very close though.
Power takes a much tighter line down there through the S's, and that seems to gain him that couple of metres on Spanners every single time he comes through. He just seems to have the car a little bit more settled over the curbs and over the bumps, and he's now going to get that benefit of the slipstream as he comes up the hill. Every little bit counts for Kyle Power here.
Yeah, it certainly is. So maybe the attention should be switching to this battle for 5th place between the two panelists. Spanners ready, and our reigning Mid-Apex champion Kyle Power looks like he's going to lose that crown today after what was a brilliant drive at Ella Park, it must be said. Not quite showing the same pace he is here today. He will blame the undulation and his weight for that, but I'm sure there are some other factors involved as well. But he can still bag himself a top 5 spot though in the remaining minute and a half-ish of this A-class final.
Mark Mason goes a little bit wide on the final corner. That gives Nicholas Davison a little bit of a run coming up the hill, and Kyle Power is very close to Spanners ready as well.
It's really closing up that battle for 3rd place as well actually, so 3rd and 5th are the ones to watch in the remaining minute of this A-class final. And down towards hairpin 1, Mason and Davison getting very close now. Davison's as close as he's been for a while now. Did he just manage to draw alongside? Oh, we had a little think up the inside of hairpin 2. There was definitely a thought there. Thought he might try and pounce on him and take him unawares. But there was nothing he could do through hairpin 2. Back towards you, maybe there's some more opportunities there.
Not this time around, he went slightly defensive. And that's actually made them draw alongside. Davison on the inside into the final corner. They're side by side. And they're still side by side coming up the start-finish straight. They're going to be brave to go 2x2 through here.
Oh, this is as close as it's been. Last lap board has gone out to Brad Philpott, so this is the last lap of the A-class final. And Mark Mason is going defensive into the first corner. Can Mark Mason get through? Nicholas Davison get through on the inside for 3rd place? Nicholas Davison through, and Spanner's trying to take advantage of that as well. He's got one of them. He could have two of them. Brilliant stuff. And Mason now trying to get back up on the inside, side by side through the S's. Mason reclaims the place. Power trying to get through on this as well. This is thrilling stuff. The last spot on the podium in the A-Class final is coming right down to the wire.
Davison still maintains it ahead of Mason. And then there's Spanners. Kyle Power getting a run on Spanners into the final corner. He's going to lunge to the inside.
Here comes Philpott to win the A-Class final. Brilliant stuff from him. Stephen Williams will take second.
And Mason is giving Davison a lunge down start
There's
finish
nothing
straight.
he can do. Davison's going to get it. The last spot on the podium, and Nicholas Davison does it by less than 0.2 of a second. And it's Mark Mason in fourth. Richard Spanners ready in fifth. Kyle Power in sixth place. What a thrilling conclusion to the A-Class final.